Hello everyone. Welcome to your easy guide to English section, and today we are continuing with the previous topic, idioms and phrases. So this is the second lecture on this topic. So if you have not seen the first lecture, I would request that you start with that. It's not like you will be missing on some concepts. We are just doing different idioms and phrases, but you will be missing on the number of idioms and phrases that you can cover. So anyway, let's start. So the first idiom for today is let the cat out of the bag. So what does it mean? It means to disclose a secret. The phrase means to reveal a fact that was previously hidden or kept secret, often accidentally. So it's almost like the cat represents the secret. So the cat is in the bag, the secret is hidden. The moment you let it out, maybe accidentally you left the chain open of the bag or whatever. So the secret is revealed. So let the cat out of the bag. Okay. Live in a fool's paradise. So, to live with false hope. So, this idiom refers to someone who is happy due to ignorance or illusion, unaware of potential trouble. So, anyway, I mean, a paradise with like you living in the illusion that everything is so good, there are no troubles. That would be living in a fool's paradise because real life there are troubles, there are obstacles, there are issues, problems, and everything. But if you are like living away from all those things, just thinking only positive things exist in this life. So you're living in a fool's paradise. So that if you think, for example, if you think you can clear this exam without consistency in your preparation, then you're living in a fool's paradise. So like that. Okay. Lion's share. So what does lion's share means? A large or a major portion. It originates from the fable where the lion takes the biggest portion for himself. So basically, lion is apparently the king of the jungle. We do not know if they have monarchy or republic or democracy or what. But anyway, we call a lion a king of the jungle. So of course, if the king is demanding the share, then like humans, they would also want a bigger share because the king, of course. So a lion's share is a large portion or a major portion of something. Last nail in the coffin. That would mean a final act that causes failure. So basically, if it means that if a coffin is being prepared and like everything is done, so once the last nail is left, so if you put that last nail, the coffin is ready. So the coffin here symbolizes death or failure. So that would the last nail in the coffin would mean a final act before failure. So it means that like you've been doing a lot of stupid things in life, but this was the last and the final act that caused you your failure or whatever. It's like that. Okay. To make both ends meet. So to make both ends meet would make to live within one's income, but like you've very less income living in within that very basic income. Okay. It is to manage basic living expenses with limited income. So option C, to live within one's income and managing somehow. So that's like making both ends meet. So if you have if in the first half of your month when you get your salary, if you burn a hole in your pocket, in the second half of the month you will have to make both ends meet somehow. So this we did this phrase in the previous video, so I hope you remember. Meet one's Waterloo. So this has a historical reference to it. So that a Battle of Waterloo was fought by Napoleon. Napoleon, you all might be aware of him that he was one of the greatest generals and the kings in France. So he had won many battles, but eventually when he lost, so he lost in several battles again, and well, like not several but few. And then there was this one final battle, Battle of Waterloo, where he was defeated, and after that he was done for once and for always. So that is like the final moment of defeat in the Battle of Waterloo. So if you so the Battle of Waterloo from that has come to mean somebody's final or the greatest defeat. So, for example, the undefeated chess champion met his Waterloo in the finals. So, like that would mean the final defeat or the biggest defeat, sort of. So, that would be meeting one's Waterloo. Okay. By Waterloo, you might have even read about it, Battle of Waterloo and Napoleon. To move heaven and earth, what does it mean? So, to move heaven and earth would mean to try everything possible. So, it means to make every possible effort to accomplish something. because obviously moving heaven and moving earth is not an easy thing. So if you're doing that, that means like you're trying everything that you can. So that's, it's like to me, to try everything possible, moving heaven and earth. Moot point. What does the word moot point means? A point accepted by all, a confirmed fact. C, a debatable or undecided issue. Or D, a wrong statement. So it means a debatable or undecided issue, no longer relevant. So if you like read this in some books, there would be like two different versions of the meaning. One is a debatable and undecided issue, and the second one is a debatable and undecided issue, no longer relevant. So the difference lies in the British and the American English context. But anyway, largely you should know that it means a debatable or undecided issue. So moot point has origin in the word like moot. You are aware of the concept of moot court. A moot court is somewhere where the model of a like court is created and the case is discussed or debated. So a case is debated. So the the debate is not real. It's a like sort of theoretical thing, of course, because it's not a real case going on. So something that is open to discussion or argument, often without a final answer. So it's that. Okay. Make neither head nor tail of. So to be completely confused. So if suppose if I'm trying to tell you about something, so we say na sir pair samajh aaya, could you like make sense of any part of it? So suppose that head, tail, these words, they represent a part of the whole issue. So if you're not able to even make head or tail, that means you're not able to figure even a part of it. So let alone the whole issue. So to be completely confused, make neither head nor tail of it. You've not understood it at all. So suppose if you are like half sleepy and you do not know what I'm talking about, so that means making you're making neither head nor tail of this lecture. So you're not understanding anything, not even a bit of what I'm saying, just like completely confused about it. Okay. Make light of. So what does make light of means? So it means to ignore or treat someone as unimportant. So to make light of is something means to treat it casually or with little seriousness, even when it deserves more attention. So for example, he made light of his injury, but it turned out to be a fracture. So that person did took like we also say no, you don't take it lightly. So that means don't ignore it, don't be non-serious about it. This could be important. So again, make light of is taking something lightly, even when it requires more attention. Midas touch. So what does Midas touch means? Ability to sing beautifully, the power to change appearance, the magical ability to succeed in everything, the habit of hoarding money. So the Midas touch actually comes from a mythological story where the king Midas had this uh, initially it was a wish which turned out to be a curse, that everything that he would touch would turn into gold. So from that, eventually it was a wish, but then when he touched his family members, they also became of gold, and then nobody was left, and he became all lonely. And also, actually, it started with a wish and became curse eventually. So, but the fact that him touching anything turning into gold shows success or prosperity, as was expected by this wish. So basically, Midas touch would means a magical ability to succeed in everything. So this idiom means that someone has the ability to turn every venture into success. So say somebody in your class who, if he takes up a sport, always wins in it. Who is takes up a test, scores very well in it. Who takes up singing becomes Arijit. Who takes up dance becomes Michael Jackson. So you would say that, oh, this person has Midas touch. Like whatever project he takes up, he just does perfectly in it. So that would be Midas touch. Null and void. Again, a very common phrase. You must have heard this and read it in newspapers as well. Officially ineffective or invalid. So, if something is held null and void, that means that officially it has been rendered ineffective or invalid. So, it's a legal expression, meaning something has no legal force or effect anymore. So, I'm sure you're aware of this already. Nip in the bud. What does nip in the bud means? To delay the decision, to ignore the problem, to criticize openly, to stop a problem in its early stages. What? So it would mean to stop a problem in its early stages. This idiom means to prevent something from becoming worse by addressing it early. So if you have issues in if in your preparation you have certain issues that are causing your score to be low, You nip them in the bud. That is in the early phase of your preparation only. Just deal with them and just resolve those things. So nip in the bud. Solve the problem in the early stages. Out of question. What does the phrase out of question means? It means absolutely impossible. Something that is out of question is not even considered because it's impossible or unacceptable. So again, very common word that, oh, this is out of question. Like if you ask your parents that, okay, can I use my phone and eat pizza? Like, out of question. Like not even debate. It's not even like something that we are going to question and debate and discuss and then try to reject it, or it's out of question. Like no way we are going to do this. So that's out of question. Offhand. Something offhand would mean immediately and without preparation. Dealing something offhandedly would be like doing it without preparation or doing it casually also. So the idiom is used to indicate giving a response or doing something spontaneously without prior learning. So offhanded approach. That's offhand. Okay. So after preparation, A, after preparation, dealing with something after preparation. B, immediately and without preparation. C, secretly. Or D, with permission. So the option is D is the correct one. Immediately and without preparation. No love lost. What does it imply? So it means mutual dislike. So if there is no love lost between two people, it means they are strongly dislike each other. It sometimes get confusing because you think, okay, love lost, no love lost, that means something of liking. But the phrase is saying no love lost. So it shows that there was no love at the first place for it to get lost. No. So there was no love. It was so that is why it was not lost. So something like that. That because there was no love, there is no scope of love getting lost. So mutual dislike. So don't think that love, if the word love is there and love is not lost, it sounds like, I don't know, it gives an impression if you do not pay attention that something related to liking something, but it's actually uh, opposite of it. That no love lost. That means there's a mutual dislike. Once Achilles healed. What does this mean? I am not sure. There was this movie Troy long back. I mean, it's kind of old, but amazing movie based on Homer's Iliad. So in that there's a character called Achilles. In that movie, it's played by Brad Pitt. So the Achilles is half human, half god, demigod. So he is because he's half god also. So he has some power that he cannot be killed. There is only one point at his heels where if you hit at that point, only that is one point where he, if you hit that, he can be killed. Without, besides that, there is no other way to kill Achilles. So from that, it comes that Greek mythology that and somebody's Achilles heel uh, implies that person's point of weakness. So that's Achilles heel. So it would mean somebody's point of weakness. So it denotes a person's fatal weakness despite overall strength. So somebody, it's actually used in that sense only, that that is one point of weakness, even if all every other thing implies that that person has a lot of strength. So Achilles' heel, point of weakness. Achilles' heel, sorry, point of weakness. Pass the buck. This is also very commonly used in political and administrative terms, and in the newspaper, this is also very frequently used phrase. To pass the buck. It would mean to shift responsibility to someone else. So it is used in political and administrative context. It means blaming others instead of accepting responsibility. So if say Pakistan was involved in some sort of terrorist activity, they would just pass, or something happened, say some terrorist attack happened in Pakistan due to their political failures, they would just say India did this, India did that, and just pass the buck. So put the blame on India rather than thinking about their own faults or their own problems. So to shift responsibility to someone else. So this pass the buck is very commonly used in newspapers and all. Play to the gallery. So what does play to the gallery means? To entertain friends? Of course not. I mean, literally it could be, but that's not the meaning of this phrase. To perform only for self-satisfaction, to seek approval through showy behavior, or to quietly take a backseat. So the option C is the correct one. To seek approval through showy behavior. So play to the gallery means, say there's a gallery and you're just trying to uh, play for the people in the gallery. That would be like you're just trying to, seek their approval, being all showy and being all trying to impress people, something like that. That would mean play to the gallery. to display for public applause and often without sincerity or substance. So just be very showy and boastful, sort of. That would be me. That would be playing to the gallery. To pull up one's socks. So this is again also very common, and you can understand what it means from the from the like words of it itself. So before you go out, you put on your shoes, you put on your socks, and you put on your shoes. So you like the act of pulling up your socks would mean you're getting ready to go out now. That's when you pull up your socks. So it means to put in more effort or improve performance. Like you pull up the socks and you're ready to work on it, something like that. So the idiom is used to motivate someone to work harder or improve their behavior or performance. So you're like pulling up your socks that okay, I am ready to move now. Tell me what to do. Like how better I can act, something like that. Okay, to pull up one's socks, to put in more effort or improve the performance. Off the hook. So it means being released from obligation or trouble. So somebody on the hook, like I've catched you on my hook, that means I have sort of trapped you. Sort of that would mean you trapped in some obligation or trouble in some situation. So off the hook means that you were there in situation, you were trapped in a situation or you were in some trouble, but now you're off it, like you're released from it. You're no more in that trouble situation. So this idiom means no longer in a trouble or uncomfortable situation. Off the hook. So means the hook implies that there was some trouble and you're off it now. You're not in that situation anymore. Okay. Plowing the sands. What does plowing the sands mean? So plowing, the farmers, they plow their field before they sow seeds and all. So plowing the sand, I mean, the sand has no depth. There is no point plowing the sands. So plowing the sand would be a futile effort. It would not take you anywhere. So plowing the sand means to make no progress despite effort. So if even if you spend whole day and you keep plowing the sand, it will not take you anywhere because the purpose of plowing is to take the soil, release the uh, loosen up the soil, and sand is anyway it's all like loose. So if in the desert you plow the sand, keep doing it whole day. That won't give you anything. So to make no progress despite efforts, it refers to doing hard work without results, a futile or unproductive effort. Okay. Put the cart before the horse. Again, it's quite evident if you just read what it means. So, how is a cart? A horse that is supposed to pull the cart and the cart before the horse. So, that's how a cart is. But if you put a cart before the horse, that means you're not like it's not the right order and it won't work then. So, to reverse the proper order of things. So, this idiom refers to doing something in the wrong sequence, especially prioritizing the less important tasks before crucial ones. So, if you think, okay, now I am going to sit and study. So, if you think okay, I will make smoothie and you're planning your day like I will make smoothie, then I will post it on social media, then I will do this and I will do that, and you're doing all this, keeping all the stupid things as like the first part of your day when you're fresh and you just woke up in the morning and you're full of energy. So you're keeping stupid things first. So those things will take away all your energy, and by the time it comes to you sitting and starting studying, you're already exhausted because you have put the cart before the horse. You have not prioritized things properly. You have not put them in order. Your schedule does not prioritize things properly. So that would be putting the cart before the horse. Okay. Pyrrhic victory. What does Pyrrhic victory mean? So a victory with complete loss to the enemy? No. A minor and insignificant win? Mhm. No. A victory that comes at too great a cost, a fast and easy success. So the option would be C. A victory that comes at too great a cost. So this is not a very commonly used phrase in the newspapers and all, but yeah, you can see it sometimes in some journals or magazines that use a little relatively more academic language. So, I mean, in terms of war, say somebody did lose and some party did win. So the winning party also has had so much losses that although they did win, but it came at a great cost. So that would be a Pyrrhic victory. Red tapeism. Again, I am sure most of you know what it means. Red tapeism means bureaucratic delays due to formal procedures. So, red tapeism is excessive rigid or rigid conformity to formal rules that cause delays in decision making. So, again, going to university to get some papers signed, you do come across red tapeism, because there are so many different rules. You bring this paper, you bring that document, you sign this person signs this, and like so many rules, and some of them have like they serve no real purpose also. So all that is red tapeism. Bureaucratic delays due to formal procedures. To read between the lines, what does it mean? So to interpret the hidden or implied meaning. So as a lawyer, you are supposed to be able to read between the lines. So if you and you should be able to write in a way that you can hide the meaning between the lines. So that's going to be your primary job actually. So it means understanding something that is not stated openly but implied subtly. So like everybody can read the words and the lines, whatever written in the lines. You can get the meaning, what is being shown explicitly. But somebody who can read between the lines means that something that is hidden in those fine print. Somebody that can who can read that would be like somebody who can interpret the hidden meaning. So that's reading between the lines. To sit on the fence, what does it mean? To sit or relax? Literally, it could mean that. But of course, I'm joking. When we are talking about an idiom, it would mean to remain neutral and not take sides. So fence, it's like there is one side, there is second side, and the fence is at the middle, like the partition point. It's not any side. So to sit on the fences, you're not taking any side. You're just sitting in the middle and not taking any side. So maintain neutral or not take sides. It's not committing to any one option or opinion, especially in conflict. Again, to sit on the fence is also a very commonly used phrase in newspapers and all. You'll definitely come across this, along, especially around elections and all. They say that this group of voters support this party, this group of voters do not support this party, and these are the fence sitters that the people are trying, I mean the political candidates are trying to get in their party. So the fence sitters, the people sitting on the fence, they are relatively neutral and they do not take sides. To smell a rat. What does to smell a rat means? To suspect that something is wrong or dishonest. So when someone has a feeling that a situation is not as it appears, that is something is suspicious is happening. That would be to smell a rat. Okay, I think something is wrong. Something like that. To smell a rat. See eye to eye. What does seeing eye to eye means? To agree completely. It means to be in full agreement with someone. So you can think like when you are trying to hide something from someone, or if you are trying to like you do not agree with them, you will be not looking in their eyes. You'll be like here and there. Seeing eye to eye means that we're agreeing. Okay, yes, yes, what you're saying is right. Yes, yes, yes. Like I'm seeing you in the eye to eye. So it actually is very real even in the physical sense. To see eye to eye, to agree completely that yes, I can like see you in the eye and be and say yes because we are agreeing, something like that. Okay, so see eye to eye. Physically also it holds, I mean it's true sort of. Steal someone's thunder. What does steal someone's thunder mean? I think this has got very popular on social media these days. I'm not an expert, but I think I have come across this term on social media these days. So to take attention or credit away from someone, to steal someone's thunder. So say your friend's birthday, but you go and make some major announcement on her birthday that okay, I am going to say, yeah, say I topped the class. So everybody has come to the party to uh, wish your friend. It's her birthday, so she is supposed to have the attention today because she's the birthday girl. But you go and make your big announcement, and everybody is now thinking about you. Ki, oh my God, this person got this say medal or some prize. So you're trying to steal your friend's thunder by doing that. So to take attention or credit away from someone. Snake in the grass. So it means a hidden enemy, of course. Like a grass is looking pleasant but you cannot see the snake, so it would mean that everything is looking pleasant, that friend is trying like to be very to show as a very him or herself as a very nice person, but the enemy in that person is hiding. So this idiom is a person who appears friendly but is secretly deceitful or dangerous, like a snake in the grass. That if it the in the grass the snake is not visible, so it looks good. You would walk on the grass, and then all of a sudden the snake would come out of nowhere and bite you. So it's like that, a hidden enemy, a snake in the grass. Swan song. This is again used quite often in theaters and in the art world of artists. So it means a final act before death or retirement. So it refers to the last work or performance of a person before ending his or her career. And it's also actually rooted in a myth that swans, they sing, they're like silent, but before they die they sing one last melodious song. So and after that they die. So it's based rooted in that myth, the swan song, one last performance before the final death or retirement. Sword of Damocles. These Greek people, they did so much in their life, and half of their life has become a part of our curriculum. Like some phrases, some, I don't know, concepts, and all those things. Now, Sword of Damocles, it also has a very interesting story. First, it implies a constant danger or threat. So Democles was a general or like some soldier, high level soldier. Call him a general. Let's in the during the time of King Dionysus. So King Dionysus had a very lavish and luxurious life. So Democles was really would admire him that, oh wow, king, you have such a nice life. You're so lucky, this and that. So the Dionysus, what he did once, that he called a feast for Democles, and he made this whole setup very luxurious, and he invited Democles, and he said, you come and eat this luxurious feast, you have whatever you want to have. And then he hanged a sword by a very thin thread above Democles. So he was so the whole setup was that you can have all the luxury, but there will be a sword hidden. Sorry, a sword hanging over you by a very thin thread. So sort of showing that even if you have all the luxury, but the constant fear of threat remains, and that's how a king's life is. They might have all the luxury in the world, but anybody can kill them anytime. So they have to, even their family members, anybody could be their enemy. So it's almost a feeling of constant threat always remains. So this whole thing King Dionysus did just to give a glimpse of his life to Democles, that constant threat or danger that is symbolized by the sword above his head by a thin thread. Like the thin thread can like cut loose anytime. It can fall off on the Democles and kill him anytime. I don't know if he died of the thread or not, but at least he got a good feast before dying. So this idiom symbolizes an imminent and ever-present threat faced by someone in a position of power or responsibility. Spill the beans. So to spill the beans is to confess or reveal a secret. I think that's also quite popular amongst the Gen Z. I'm not sure, but it's also quite it's a common one. To spill the beans is to reveal secret or confidential information intentionally or unintentionally. Shot in the arm. When I was younger, I used to get so confused reading this phrase. Shot in the arm means a source of encouragement or support. Now, the shot that I would think of is like being shot, like a pistol or a gun. But shot here should be taken in form of a vaccine or a medicine. So it signifies a source of encouragement or support or a source of energy, you can say. So if suppose you have some disease and you got the shot or the vaccine or the medicine in the arm, it will make you feel healthier. So it will be a source of encouragement or a sort of betterment in your life. So, shot in the arm is a source of encouragement or support. It's a boost in morale, energy, or confidence, even after success or positive event. Oh, sorry, often after success or a positive event. Okay, shot in the arm is here. The shot is a vaccine or a medicine, so it means a source of encouragement or support. Shot in the arm, support or encouragement. Take with a pinch of salt. So it means to accept something without doubt. Sorry, with doubt. Sorry, with doubt. Again, this is also very common in newspapers and all, to take with a pinch of salt. That suppose somebody is commenting on a leader or a policymaker, so they would say, ki, okay, this person is saying this, but you should take this with a pinch of salt. So you might want to believe this person, but have some doubts about what this person or leader is saying. So it means not to take someone's words completely seriously or and be skeptical about it. To be skeptical is to have some doubts. Throw in the towel. What does it mean to throw in the towel? It means to admit defeat. Now, again, this is taken from boxing. It means to give up or stop trying. So, in the boxing, what happens is that if a boxer seems to be losing completely and like completely at the verge of defeat and not in a very terrible situation, so the coach or the team members of that boxer would throw the towel in the ring. So, that would mean to surrender or to give up. That the like game is over from their side, they are surrendering. So to throw in the towel to admit defeat. Turn over a new leaf. So here leaf is like a page of a book. So you change completely for better. So when something terrible happens, so your friends would tell you that okay, try to move on, turn over a new leaf. Get ahead of this. Now turn over a new leaf. Now start afresh. Change the page and the new chapter begins. What if the chapter was not complete and it is continuing? No, it's your life. You write the chapter wherever you want. You stop the chapter and you start a new chapter. So, to change completely for better, this idiom refers to reforming one's behavior or a lifestyle, often after a negative past, to turn over a new life, move on. Take the bull by the horns. So, what does it mean? It means to deal bravely with a difficult situation. So, the bull here represents the difficult situation, and when a bull is running towards you, holding him by the horn is the most difficult thing. So, it's also bull here is the difficult situation, and holding by the horn would mean dealing it courageously. You can't, I mean, not everybody can just hold the bull by the horn. So I mean, there used to be those games when a bull and a human would be fighting, so that was done by those. So the most courageous person was the one who could actually do that. So now the phrase implies to deal bravely with a difficult situation. It means to face a challenge boldly and take direct action. Again, this is also very commonly used in the newspapers when some policy is being described, and suppose there's some difficult situation and some policy has been made to deal with it, and it's a very bold policy. So the editor of the newspaper would write that this policy maker made this policy and they're trying to take the bull by the horn. It's a very appreciable effort, something like that. Throw cold water. What does throwing cold water means? To discourage someone. So I mean, if you're so cold is always implying inactivity. So, for example, we had this cold heels that also implied waiting, especially in a negative sense. So these things they are implying sort of uh, pause in something, discouragement, or inactivity, something like that. So, whenever you come across a phrase similar to that, you can always think on those lines. So, to throw cold water means to discourage someone. Used when someone shows a lack of enthusiasm and support for the idea, thereby discouraging others. So, throw cold water. Take somebody for a ride. It would mean to deceive someone. So this idiom means to trick or cheat someone, usually by gaining their trust. So again, this phrase originated in 1920s US when the gangsters and all. This was the era of gangsters. So at that time, they would actually take someone in their car, like sort of pull someone, kidnap someone in their car, and rob that person, and then they will kill them and then throw them away. So that sort it came from there, to take someone for a ride. Okay, should we take this person for a ride means that let's cheat. I mean, now in terms of phrase it has come to mean that it has to cheat someone, but the origin was actually they would pull a person in the car and they would really kill that person. So taking someone for a ride is to deceive someone, to trick them or to cheat them. Turn a deaf ear. It means to ignore deliberately. It's almost like you as if not hearing. So if you, for example, you ask your parents for permission for some trip, and they don't want to say no also, so they'll act as if they didn't hear. You keep saying that, mama, can I go for this trip? Mama, can I go for this trip? And your mama is just moving around as if she's not hearing. So to ignore deliberately, it means to ignore deliberately, intentionally not paying attention or refusing to listen to someone's advice or request. White elephant. What does white elephant mean? A white colored elephant, of course, right? No. In terms of phrase, it means a possession that is costly and useless. So a white elephant is something that requires a lot of money to maintain but gives little or no benefit. So say some rich friend bought a yacht, and that person goes for a sail once and they realize they are seasick. So now they have spent a lot of money on the yacht, but it's useless. So it's a white elephant sitting there, and because it is in the waters, so it requires a lot of maintenance, something like that. So this white elephant phrase has roots in Southeast Asian Thailand region. So there, white elephant is considered sacred. So it was used or gifted to someone because it was considered sacred. But because it was sacred, it could not be brought to use. But it's an elephant; eats a lot, needs a lot of maintenance. So it came to symbolize an expensive thing that is of no use. So a white elephant. like that yacht, no, of no use to the rich friend. Writing on the wall. So what does it mean? A graffiti. It actually means a graffiti, but when a phrase is asking, it has to have some other meaning as well. So a clear warning of danger or failure. That would be writing on the wall. So this idiom refers to an obvious sign that something bad is going to happen. So writing on the wall. Wild goose chase. So it's a foolish and hopeless pursuit. So it refers to futile effort or pursuit of something unattainable or non-existent. So a goose can run really fast, and if you're just trying to chase the goose, it's not gonna yield any effort for you. Maybe not for Usain Bolt. Maybe that Usain Bolt can catch a chase a goose, but you at your pace cannot. So I'm of course kidding. So that just means that a foolish and a hopeless pursuit. You're just trying to achieve that goal and you're putting futile effort while it is completely impossible now. Okay. Win hands down. So a win with minimal effort, like it's an absolute victory. Win hands down. So it implies a clear, easy, and decisive victory. To win hands down, absolute with minimal efforts. Hill task. Again, very commonly used phrase. It's a tough and challenging job. So uphill, when you're going uphill, it's more difficult to go uphill. It's relatively easier, but going up to the hill is more difficult. For example, even in your treadmills and all, if you put it on the like raise the elevation, it becomes relatively difficult, or it gives you more resistance. So something, a task that is uphill task would mean a tough and a challenging job. So it means difficult and laborious challenge requiring great effort. So uphill task. Wet blanket. What does wet blanket means? It means dampened enthusiasm. It's someone who discourages or spoils the fun or excitement of others. So that would be a person who is wet blanket. Okay. Windfall. What does windfall means? It means sudden gain or profit. It refers to unexpected benefit, often in terms of money or success. Again, windfall is also used in newspapers, in financial news and all. Windfall gains. They are also used in tax related news also, they are also present. So it refers to unexpected benefit. So there is also a debate if they should be taxed or not. I'm not sure what the status is at this point, but again, windfall is also a very, not a very commonly used, but in financial news you will come across this. So, with this, we have come to the end of idioms and phrases. I hope you enjoyed the silly little origin stories. Not all of the stories are silly, but we try to make some stories with some phrases. So, I hope this helps you remember these phrases. And I think this is the way to go. If you're trying to learn new words, new phrases, uh, concepts you can understand, and that will help you remember. But these things that do not necessarily have long concepts for you to understand and remember. So you can make stories and they are relatively easier to remember. This is what my approach was for this. So thank you so much for the patience. So I'll see you again with the new topic. Thank you. Bye bye.